Many people try to learn English, but after some time they feel tired or confused. They study grammar, memorize vocabulary, and watch many lessons, but they still feel that their English is not improving fast. The problem is not always the method. Sometimes the real problem is that their brain is not trained to learn the language effectively. Learning English is not only about books and lessons. It is also about how your brain processes and remembers the language. If you train your brain the right way, learning English becomes easier, faster, and more natural. Instead of forcing yourself to memorize everything, you help your brain understand and absorb the language. Today, we will talk about how to train your brain to learn English more effectively. Part 1. Create an English environment for your brain. The first step to training your brain is surrounding it with English. Your brain learns best when it is exposed to the language regularly. If you only study English once or twice a week, your brain forgets most of what you learn. But when your brain hears and sees English every day, it slowly becomes familiar with the language. You can create a small English environment in your daily life. For example, you can listen to English podcasts while walking or traveling. You can watch English videos or movies with subtitles. You can also read simple English articles or short stories. Even small exposure helps your brain get used to English sounds and sentence patterns. Another powerful habit is thinking in English during your day. When you are doing simple tasks, try to describe them in English in your mind. For example, I need to finish my work. I am going to make some tea. The weather looks nice today. This simple exercise trains your brain to connect thoughts directly with English words, instead of translating from your native language. Over time, your brain begins to think more naturally in English. The key idea is consistency. Even 15 to 20 minutes of daily exposure can train your brain to recognize and understand English more easily. Part 2. Train your brain with listening. One of the most powerful ways to train your brain to learn English is listening. When you listen to English regularly, your brain slowly becomes familiar with the sounds, pronunciation, and rhythm of the language. Many learners focus too much on grammar and vocabulary, but they forget that language is mainly something we hear and speak. Think about how children learn their first language. They listen for months and even years before they start speaking. Their brain learns the language by hearing it again and again. The same process can help you learn English. At first, you may not understand everything you hear. That is completely normal. The goal in the beginning is not perfect understanding. The goal is training your brain to recognize English sounds. When you listen regularly, your brain starts identifying common words and sentence patterns. After some time, you will notice that sentences begin to sound more familiar, and understanding becomes easier. You can practice listening in many simple ways. You can watch English YouTube videos. You can listen to English podcasts. You can watch movies or interviews in English. Choose content that is clear and not too fast, especially in the beginning. Another helpful method is active listening. Active listening means you are paying attention to how people speak. Notice their pronunciation, the way words connect together, and the rhythm of their speech. For example, if you hear a sentence like, I want to improve my English, listen carefully to the way the sentence sounds. Then try to repeat it out loud. This simple habit trains your brain to connect listening with speaking. Another powerful technique is listening to the same audio multiple times. The first time you listen, you may only catch a few words. The second time, you may understand more. After several times, the whole sentence becomes clearer. Your brain learns through repetition and exposure. You can also listen during your daily activities. For example, while walking, cooking, exercising, or traveling. This allows your brain to stay connected with English throughout the day. When your brain hears English regularly, it slowly begins to process the language more naturally. And when your brain understands English more easily, speaking English also becomes much easier. Part 3. Start thinking in English. A powerful way to train your brain to learn English is thinking directly in English. Many learners have a habit of translating every sentence from their native language into English. First, they think of an idea in their own language, and then they try to convert it into English. This process makes speaking slow and difficult. When you translate all the time, your brain has to do two jobs. First, it creates the sentence in your native language, and then it tries to change it into English. Because of this, you may feel stuck or confused when speaking. Fluent English speakers usually do something different. They think directly in English, and that is why they can speak faster and more naturally. The good news is that you can train your brain to do the same thing. Start with simple thoughts. During the day, your mind is always thinking about something. You can use these small thoughts to practice English. For example, if you are drinking water, you can think, I am drinking water. If you are going outside, you can think, I need to go to the store. If you are feeling tired, you can think, I should get some rest. These short sentences may look simple, but they are very powerful. They help your brain connect ideas directly with English words. Another useful exercise is describing your surroundings in English. Look around you and think about what you see. For example, the room is quiet. The weather looks cloudy. There are many people in the street. This practice helps your brain stay in English mode. At first, thinking in English may feel slow. You might search for words or make mistakes. That is completely normal. But if you practice this habit every day, your brain will slowly become faster. After some time, you will notice that English thoughts start coming naturally without translation. This is an important step toward fluency. When your brain starts thinking in English, speaking English becomes much easier. Part 4. Use English actively by speaking. To train your brain to learn English, you must use the language actively, not only study it. Many learners spend most of their time reading books, learning grammar, or memorizing vocabulary. These things are helpful, but they are not enough. Your brain learns a language faster when you use it actively, especially through speaking. Speaking forces your brain to quickly find words, build sentences, and express ideas. This process strengthens your brain's connection with the language. If you only study silently, your brain understands English, but it does not practice producing the language. That is why speaking practice is so important. You do not need to start with difficult conversations. You can begin with very simple exercises. One easy method is talking to yourself in English. During your day, describe what you are doing. For example, I am preparing breakfast. I need to finish my work. Today, I want to practice my English. This simple exercise helps your brain become comfortable using English. Another good practice is reading English out loud. When you read aloud, your brain works together with your mouth and ears. This improves your pronunciation and helps your brain remember sentence patterns. You can also practice speaking by repeating sentences from videos or podcasts. Listen to a sentence, pause the video, and then repeat the same sentence. For example, if you hear, "Learning English takes patience and practice," pause and repeat, "Learning English takes patience and practice." This exercise trains both your brain and your mouth to produce English naturally. Another helpful habit is speaking every day, even if it is only for a few minutes. Consistency is more important than long study sessions. If you speak English daily, your brain becomes more comfortable with the language. Over time, speaking will feel easier and more natural. The more you use English actively, the stronger your brain becomes at understanding and producing the language. Part 5. Build strong daily habits. The final step to train your brain to learn English is building strong daily habits. Learning a language is not something that happens in one day or one week. It happens through small actions repeated every day. Many learners study English for a few days with a lot of excitement, but after some time they stop practicing. When practice stops, improvement also stops. Your brain learns best when it receives regular and consistent practice. Instead of studying English for many hours once a week, it is much better to practice a little every day. Even 20 to 30 minutes of daily practice can create big improvement over time. You can create simple daily habits like listening to English for a few minutes every morning, learning a few new words every day, thinking in English during your daily activities, speaking English for a few minutes out loud. These small habits slowly train your brain to become comfortable with the language. Another important thing is patience. Learning English takes time, and progress may sometimes feel slow. But every small practice helps your brain build stronger language skills. If you stay consistent and keep practicing, your brain will slowly adapt to English. Understanding will become easier, and speaking will become more natural. Now let's quickly remember the main ideas from today's lesson. First, create an English environment and surround your brain with the language. Second, improve your listening because your brain learns a lot from hearing English. Third, practice thinking directly in English instead of translating. Fourth, use English actively by speaking and repeating sentences. And finally, build strong daily habits and practice consistently. If you follow these steps regularly, your brain will slowly become better at learning English. And over time, you will notice that understanding and speaking English feels much more natural. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more English learning lessons. Thank you for watching. Keep practicing your English every day, and I will see you in the next video.